Vinyl Voices Radio is brought to you by our friends over at Push and Win Law Firm, your personal injury attorneys. So if you guys need help, you get hurt or get in a car accident, call Push and Win. Look them up online, pushwin.com, and get a free consultation, pushwin.com. All right, everybody, get ready for another Vinyl Voices Radio here on ESPN. It's going to be a really fun show. We're kind of doing a little different artist this time.
Yeah, this week we have children's music artist, Houston Grammy-nominated artist, Uncle Jumbo. I'm channeling my inner kid for this, John.
I'm wearing underoos right now, so I didn't want to bring that up, but
TMI.
But we'll talk about it later.
All right.
But we're going to have some delicious back pew beers, and we've had some Frank pizzas. Going to keep us going through the show. So, yeah, let's get started.
What I say, what?
For the fellowship.
This is Vinyl Voices Radio. ESPN 97.5.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm John Denman.
Jesse Sandehan.
All right, everybody, welcome. Like I said, this is Vinyl Voices Radio here on ESPN. I'm John Denman. He is Jesse Sandejas, and we are hanging out today with some good back pew beers. Got a really fun show ahead of us with Uncle Jumbo.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Yeah, welcome to the studio.
Very happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation.
Welcome to the every time I come in, it's updated a little bit more.
It's got a great look, I can tell. I hope that keeps going too. There's a lot of feel and flavor in here. It's awesome.
I mean, if Uncle Jumbo says that, I take that as a high compliment.
I feel at home, and this couch is very comfortable too.
Nice. Yeah, I think our viewers are going to get a little bit of taste of that flavor in some of the videos that, you know, they're just, it's eye candy. Yeah, so to actually get that compliment on the studio.
I appreciate y'all making it colorful in here even more. I heard we have more of a saloon feel on the others. It's still saloon. It's definitely like a party in the saloon vibe right now.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gonna have a party,
Have it at a saloon.
have it at a saloon.
With a back pew beer.
Yep,
Yes.
that's some good old Frank's pizza.
Yeah.
Thank you, Franks.
But no, you know, I got introduced to you over this last weekend and was listening to the music, and I just found myself listening to more and more and more. And not because, you know, when you start talking about like children's artists, and when my kids were growing up, it was the Wiggles,
Ooh.
right?
Yeah.
But yeah, people have their own ideas about the Wiggles, but I would just be walking around sitting there singing songs in my head at 3 o'clock in the afternoon with no kids around, right? It's just like they just made some catchy stuff.
Yeah,
and
they're
it's
good.
like, okay, that's interesting. And then there's a few other people, you know, artists that came out. And then when I was listening to yours, I was just like, man, this is a good vibe. It's just a good music, good rhythm going on. Good. It's just different than other kids' music that I've listened to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I appreciate that. Number one, the Wiggles are really awesome, and I love them.
Oddly enough, I hate to cut you off, but there's like a few people in this world that I always figured that at one point I'm going to hang out with.
Yeah.
And there was a time I'm like, man, one day I'm just going to be hanging out drinking a beer with the Wiggles, man.
Man.
I feel like that's going to happen.
I actually did.
Yeah.
Did you really?
Yeah. There was a show in New York, and and he's a former Wiggle, and now he's a solo artist named Sam Moran, and he had an album this past year called All the Feels. Really cool guy, nice guy, and he came into New York. We were there at the same time for a show, and yeah, we hung out. So
That's awesome.
I hung out with a Wiggle. But yeah, I look at my music as just music first, and I really appreciate that you just picking up and feeling the vibe of it and feeling the feeling of the music, because that's what I try to do with my music, is just have it be something that anybody can listen to that's also really good for kids. But I mean, when it's first hitting your ears, I just want it to feel like good music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you accomplished that. And
Thank you.
Yeah, I came home and I was telling him, I was like, man, we have an artist this week that says he writes a bunch of kid songs. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, but listen. And I think his comment was, this kind of sounds like something Pharrell would make.
Pharrell.
Oh,
And I was like,
I love that.
I mean, as I said, that's pretty interesting because it just like I said, it had some really good music.
Well,
behind the good lyrics.
Pharrell is very adventurous and very playful sometimes with his productions. So, but they're super high quality and beautiful. So that makes sense, and I love that so much. Pharrell's definitely an influence. So
Yeah.
that's really cool. I love that.
Yeah, I think as we get into a little bit more and listen to some songs, the audience is going to catch that the fact that you're a songwriter first and foremost, and irrespective of audience, you want something that connects with people, and that's what John's talking about. It really connects, and I mean, just for me, like when I listen to it, it's just like I've been listening to Uncle Jumbo music for the last couple of days, getting ready for the show, and just like in a good mood the last couple of days, because how could you not be? It's like
Yeah. I mean, when you're sitting in Houston traffic,
Yeah. Oh man,
you need a good little thing to kind of take your mind off of.
that's incredible.
Yep.
Like traffic aid. This is beautiful. I gotta put that in my bio. Like, this will help you get through Houston traffic, and we know how that is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, so what's the first song we're gonna listen to?
Yeah, first song we're going to listen to is Roly Poly, and let's check it out.
This is a story from a new point of view.
I was just taking it easy, eating a leaf. I was minding my business, enjoying the breeze. Then I saw some massive feet in my way. Now it's defense mode, I gotta be on my way. Rolling, 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 rolling around, rolling, 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 gonna roll out of town. So I had to curl up in a ball. I was not feeling those vibrations at all. So I decided to just do what I do. When it's time to roll, I hope you would too. Ooh, I'm a rolling, rolling, I'm a rolling, rolling, I'm a rolling, rolling, I gotta go. Rolling around, ooh, rolling, rolling, I'm a rolling, rolling, I said I'm a rolling, rolling, gonna roll out of town. Break that. When I roll, you roll, we roll, let's roll out of here. When I roll, you roll, we roll, yeah. When I roll, you roll, we roll, let's roll out of here. When I roll, you roll, we roll, yeah. Yeah. Rolling, rolling, I'm a rolling, rolling, rolling around. I gotta go. Rolling, rolling, yeah. Rolling, rolling, ooh. Rolling, rolling, gonna roll out of town. I gotta go. Rolling, rolling, yeah. Rolling, rolling, ooh. Rolling, rolling, rolling around. I gotta roll. Rolling, 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 gonna roll out of town.
This is a story from a new point of view.
All right, Roly Poly.
Yeah.
Yep, that song has
Dance
a.
move.
That song. I was trying to think, like what it has a feel, and I kind of started going back a little bit to like that Weird Science song a little bit.
Right, I was going to say, it has a little bit of an 80s kind of vibe to it,
Yeah.
especially kind of like right at the bridge there. Yeah.
I had writing a song about a roly poly. You guys ever like be in the middle of your house, like far away from anything, and all of a sudden there's a roly-poly walking by. And it's like, how long of this journey have you been on? I mean, to get this far. And you're like, I'll save you, little buddy. So you pick him up and you take him outside.
Yeah.
And it's like, what if he was almost where he is?
He is.
This is where I'm supposed to be.
Like, think about those tiny little legs.
Yeah.
I think about that with dogs a lot, like little dogs, and how many steps they take.
Yeah.
But I mean, like a roly-poly.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you're taking this roly-poly to different worlds when you take that.
very much. I mean, you're like in the interior of my house, so it's like,
Yeah.
you walk like 30, 40 feet. How long did that take?
So I wanted that song to sound like an action movie and be really exciting and like take you to this little world, like miniaturized. But that's why it's got like just that like driving beat and the big drums and the synths and everything, because I want it to be like that. It's a funny story. That's the first song one of the first songs I made for kids. And when I first started, everything I did, it came from just making songs for my daughter when she was born. And that song I made rolling around on the floor with her when she was learning how to crawl.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would just freestyle that, roly-poly. She'd fall over, or she could only crawl backwards or something. So that's where that came from. But the first time I performed this song, I hadn't told anybody about my kids' music. And I had friends who were working the art car parade. And I asked them if they had any kind of room, just a little room in the programming for me to do something for some kids. Is there space for kids anywhere? Mm-hmm. They said, yeah, we have a whole zone for that. So I said, let me go try these out. So I get up there, nobody knows what I'm doing. And I just show up with my songs. And I start roly-poly. I'm doing the dance. The kids and I are locked in from like 5 seconds in. And I'm like, this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Like, this is it right here. That was that moment where I was like, this is it. But see, before then, I had come from another world of bands and performing solo, and I'd been a lead singer. And there is a method and an idea of a dance along when I perform now. We're all together in this space. I'm showing you these dances. The kids are locking in. The parents are doing the dances. Everybody's doing the dances together. But that's something I had to grow into and really find out about what I do. Mm. When I first performed roly-poly at the art car parade, I was so hyped to be doing this. And when that moment of connection happened, I'm performing the song, but like inside, I'm like, this is incredible. And we get to the bridge, which is when I roll, you roll, right. We roll. And it keeps building and building. And I just do like this tuck and roll somersault thing. And the kids were like,
okay.
Am I supposed to do that?
I'm not going to do that. But when you make it back to this, I got you.
Yeah,
right.
So I got out of that and I'm like, oh, okay. We're going to be together on this one.
That's me when I try to line dance. Starts out like, yeah, okay,
I see
I'll catch back up when you flip and turn around.
Hey, I got love for you jumping in the line dance stuff. That takes courage.
Yeah.
If you don't know it, because they're like line dance pros who are incredible.
Yeah.
I've seen
like
them.
they can do them all.
They can, and like they add the flair and stuff
right.
to it.
The only one I can do is keep
Wedding
it shuffled.
receptions, right?
Yeah.
All of a sudden they come out, and it's like, how do you know? No matter what song they play,
Yeah.
you know the dance to it.
Uh-huh.
I don't have enough time in my life to learn those dances.
But the fact that you jump in though, still,
Yeah.
that's
I mean,
beautiful.
I can move.
That's John.
I can move.
He's that guy. He's that guy. No, it's interesting hearing you talk about it because you've been writing music since you were like 14 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is
But you've always been Uncle Jumbo.
I have for a long time before making kids music when my nieces were very little. They were like maybe 4 and 7 or something. They would call me Jumbo. That was just their name for me, and it was beautiful. You little people calling you Jumbo. It's just like the greatest thing ever. So when I began to do this, that was the name that was just naturally, that's who I am.
Right.
But writing songs started when I was like 14 or 15.
Right.
And it was just something to do to keep my head in a good space, honestly. I had gone through a family like reshuffling kind of thing. My mother got remarried, my family dynamics changed, and that dynamic of us coming together took some time, of course.
Sure.
And some adjustment, especially for like a 14-year-old. I've always loved music and felt a deep connection to it. But I had cousins who very thankfully went to the same school as I did, and they had the most basic, it wasn't even recording equipment. Like the older cousin, he was like the family techie because he worked at CompUSA. So he's like the guy who now would like switch it to HDMI, but like, he was that guy in our family, and we had this old computer, and the top of it had like a little like slits for a microphone, and we had this program called Sound Record, and I think it was equivalent to like notes on our phone now.
Okay.
And they figured that you only needed like 30 seconds to record. So when you open up the program, it would just be 30 seconds. But if you press the enter button, it would add like 15 more seconds. So we would just tap that enter button and tap it till we got about 4 minutes. And then we would load up a beat and freestyle. That's how I started.
Okay.
Very much like SUC, Screwed Up Click, Junior, like looking up to them and cousins all in a room. And I'm one of the youngest ones looking at them, and I almost like a line dance. Like I just want to jump in and be a part of it. And from there, like when all the older cousins would leave, it would be me and my younger cousin Marcellus, and we would actually write our own songs. And that's when that started. It just became a thing to do, but continued to be a thing that stayed with me throughout all of the changes in my life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really shows. That's. That whole put your 10,000 hours in, and
it's there.
Yeah, it is, and you can hear it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, that one's really fun, and I like that it has that connection to to your daughter.
Yeah,
because,
I mean, all of what I do now really comes from her. Like I said, I would have never. It wasn't in the plans to become a children's artist. I never grew up knowing a lot of children's artists. Shout out to your shirt. Mm-hmm. Sesame Street is a massive influence on me, and the music on that show was like my kids' music.
Right.
But it's not what I planned on doing, but as an artist, as a writer, it was where life was, and that's what I had to write about and put my everything into it. So yeah, it came from a very natural place at home with her, and I'm thankful for it. I love that it can even be a thing. I'm very thankful that what I do is even a thing.
It's a thing. It's a Grammy-nominated thing, y'all.
Yeah, that's awesome.
When we come back from the break, let's hear more of that Grammy-nominated music and get into more stories, but
let's do it.
We need a break.
It's time to take a break. So this is Vinyl Voices. We'll be right back. You've seen their billboards and know their slogan, but the personal injury attorneys at Push and Win are more than familiar faces and a clever catchphrase. The firm specializes in car accidents and has won more than $200 million in counting for their clients. Slips and falls, product liability, class action cases, and motor vehicle accidents. Push and Win has offices in Houston and San Antonio ready to help you fight the insurance company. Call their bilingual staff at 833-PUSH-WIN or visit pushwin.com for a 100% free consultation. They push, you win.
May the 4th be with you weekend in Galveston, Texas. La Izquierda is back with a classic longboard surf competition, 3-day music festival starring The Nude Party, Cam Franklin, Tanya Nolan, Ruben Moreno, Galveston, The Ghost Wolves, Dim Roots, and much, much more. Tickets available online at laizzyfest.com. Think waves, y'all. Waves.
we're back for another segment of Vinyl Voices Radio here on ESPN. He's Justin Diaz. I'm John Denman. And our guest this week,
Uncle Jumbo. Uncle Jumbo's in the house.
Jumbo's hanging out. And got another song to listen to. So tell us a little bit about this song.
This song is Bicicleta, and it is from my latest album, Taste the Sky, which is nominated for the Grammy. This song is all about riding around on a bike and saying hello to everybody, just spreading love. When I made this album, it came from a lot of just everyday situations. And one of those situations is I'm definitely that guy in the neighborhood who will put a Bluetooth speaker on the bike with me and ride around and just like sing out loud. Especially, that's one of the ways I came up with the lyrics on this album, was just riding around, singing out loud. And so I had to show love to just that process and how good it feels to just ride around on a bike. And that's what Bicicleta is. And the song is with my friends Uno, Dos, Tres, Andres, who are bilingual children's music artists, make a lot of jams, big mentors and friends of mine. And we came together for this one just about spreading love.
All right, let's hear it.
Bicicleta, bicicleta, I wanna ride. Bicicleta, bicicleta, I wanna ride. Bicicleta, bicicleta, I wanna ride. Bicicleta, bicicleta, I wanna ride.
Peace. Time to roll. I just wave at everybody in the barrio. 2 wheels, dos ruedas. Todo el mundo, everybody, come on and vibe together. Unidos. Got to shout it out for all my people. One love to my people. And I'm riding my bicicleta everywhere.
Bicicleta, bicicleta, I wanna ride. Bicicleta, bicicleta, I wanna ride.
I'm in no hurry, no tengo apuro. Yo con mis amigos y yo los saludo, digo hola, hola, hola. Dime qué pasa, hola, hola, hola. Voy a mi casa, pedaleo rápido, pedaleo lento. Keep it moving, there you go, vive el momento. Hola, hola, hola. Dime qué pasa, hola, hola, hola. Voy a mi casa.
Bicicleta, bicicleta, I wanna ride. Bicicleta, bicicleta, I wanna ride. Bicicleta, bicicleta, I wanna ride. Bicicleta, bicicleta, I wanna ride.
Yeah, but you just have like different artists that thrive in that world, though. That from one album to another is going to be something completely different, but you still know who it is.
Right.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's what I love. That's, I mean, it's raised on cats like that. Mm-hmm. It makes the experience better.
Yeah, it does.
It's almost like watching, it's like an actor moves from movies to movies. Mm-hmm. Then the different films, they have different feels. Why can't it be like that in music?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, you have like someone like Tyler, the Creator, who looks different from one album to another. Like changes everything.
His like artistic visual aesthetic is different. It matches, or at least holds hands with the music. It goes with the music, which is a classic artist thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like you are a total artist in that way.
Right.
Yep.
And you don't have to be like that, but it's just another area to think and add your creativity to.
Yeah. There's, speaking of aesthetic, there's a very, just like I mentioned, eye candy, earlier with your visuals, all the videos that you do for these songs. So, I mean, how does that kind of come together? I mean, I'm sure it's different for every particular song, but I mean, they just look so cool. I mean,
Bringing it to life.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the life in it is it. I think that with not just my music, but music period, to me, I just hear all these worlds and it's so exciting to me.
You see the music. Right?
I see the music, and it's fun to give that to people, that experience and like that feeling. So my videos are the best way that I know how to put people in the world of the music that I already hear. You know, it's a way to be there more and to feel these things more, to see yourself. So with Bicicleta, that was very special. All the elements in that, all of the art was drawn and colored by my wife and my daughter.
What? Really?
Our home is like one day going to be completely covered in my daughter's art. And I'm all good with that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I am all good with that. I remember going to, we've lived where we live now for about 4.5 years. And I remember before we moved there, we were looking around at places. And this person had wallpaper made out of their kids' art. I'd never seen anything like that. It was incredible. And I was like, that's such a beautiful, it's your home.
Mm-hmm.
Make it yours.
Right.
And I'd never seen anything just expressed that. And so, but we don't have wallpaper, but her art, her pieces, her drawings and paintings are everywhere. And they've always been an inspiration to me. And I've always wanted to create a world that you can step into that looks like these things. We draw on brown paper a lot sometimes, and it has a different feel. Mm-hmm. And so to cut those out and to rearrange them. So that Bicicleta video, it took a while because all of those pieces, from the Ferris wheel to the trees to the buildings that are going up and down. It's a Houston skyline, by the way, that was drawn. It's all in this world that you can also feel too. And like there's a shadow behind it. It looks like you can pick up the pieces of art on that video as you watch it. Mm-hmm. And that video is like when you play those racing games at the arcade or something, and you pass like checkpoint. Like that was like, I've been wanting to do that. I've been wanting to have this world made out of this kid's art, because my earlier videos, like Roly Poly, the first one I ever did, it's of course completely green screen, and that's me in the kangaroo and the bee costume, the mascot things, dancing. But it's all digital. And as a parent, I mean, every day I'm getting drawings from my child, and I love it, and it's inspiring. And I'm making music for kids and all of us too. Right. But the kids are a deep consideration in what I do, and I want the world that I'm in to look like the world that kids draw at home. That's why my logo, when you look at it, it looks like a 5-year-old could have made it. Right. Because I'm talking to them. Yeah. I'm talking to them visually, and I'm talking to them with my songs.
Yeah. There's that definite connect there, in watching that world come to life. But I like too that, kind of reeling back to music, because this is a music show.
Vinyl voices.
Yeah. is that how smart it is that, every kid is trying to learn how to ride a bike. True. So why not have a song that kind of like,
Well, this is what I say. Everything is a song. Everything is a song. Mm. I'm telling you. And what's very special about my audience is that the kids know that and accept that. And at some point, as grown-ups, we get a little stale and stiff. And the lens that we view things in, it's like, no, you can't, that's not a song about my ex. What is this? Like, it doesn't compute. Yeah. But it's like, look at this world we're in. Look at this studio we're in. It's like all of this is so special, and every single thing is a song. So yeah, riding a bike, that's a song. And riding a bike, not just riding a bike, and this is where I try to do. I slide it in sometimes in subtle ways, and I just hope that the kids really internalize and start to sing these songs over and absorb and live these messages. But we're not just riding the bike in bicicleta. Speaking of which, we're speaking a different language.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
We're speaking Spanish in here, and we're normalizing that into this song, into the jam.
Yeah.
So if you really want to jam to this song, you're going to speak some Spanish. And speaking of that, when you learn a new language, like let's say that you have a friend whose first language isn't English, what you're going to talk about are things that you have in common.
Right.
So how do you say bike? You know, bicicleta. How do you say apple? How do you say, you know, what are these things that I know how to say in my language? So that's also a point with bicicleta, is to do that. But we're not just riding a bike. You know, bicicleta, I want to ride. Hola, 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 when I ride by.
Right.
It's all about riding around and spreading love.
Yeah.
In a perfect world, to me, we're passing by each other and saying, what's up? Everybody is.
Right.
You know, and...
Don't go to Philadelphia.
Well, look, I know
the city of brotherly love.
It's the city of brotherly love. Philadelphia. Look, I think that
Uncle Jumbo has to sell records to Philadelphia.
You need to get up there and teach us lessons.
I'm so stubborn that I'm the type like, we're only doing shows in Philadelphia.
Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna straighten this out. But I don't believe, like, yeah, sure, like a city can have like an overall demeanor. Sure. And they could even buy into it and want to preserve that and keep it going.
Oh, yeah.
But, man, I know people from Philly, and they're beautiful sweethearts, great people.
It is. Once you make the eye contact and you break the ice, everything changes.
Yeah. I used to, hey, that's the truth. I used to wait tables, and that's where I learned that. It's because people, like, you will come across all different kinds of people. And sometimes, you know, you work in a weekend, it's the end of the week. People had a hard week. They're coming in there to get what they want. They're going to be the boss in that moment. Maybe they're not the boss at any other moment, but they're the boss there, right or wrong. That's how they approach the situation. And as somebody who's, you know, serving the food and taking care of their experience, like, you have to make sure it's going to be okay. And I learned how to I actually love to talk to people with different attitudes, I'll say.
Sure.
And get to a common level. Because, I mean, why wouldn't you want that? Why wouldn't you want to be cool? Why wouldn't you just want to flow with everything?
Right. I think, you know, when we were talking about just the idea.
I'm sorry, you want to talk about music. I'm talking about waiting.
No, it's cool.
That's music, though.
There's music in that. That's
Come
right.
on.
No, we're talking about bicicleta. I was like, I guess because I've listened to your stuff for a minute, I know that there's the undercurrent of like, hey, you know, we live in this world together, let's vibe together. I know that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about just when Jesse was a kid and couldn't figure out how to ride without the training wheels, Pops was like, why can't you get this? You know, I could have used that song then.
I appreciate that. Music has that way to hook onto you and also push you.
Yeah.
I used to go to this basketball camp when I was a kid, and we would split off, and like some kids would do defense, some kids you're going to work on ball handling drills, but then there would always be a time when everybody gets to come together and the coach is going to address everybody, and they would play I think it's Gloria Estefan, Get On Your Feet. Get on your feet. And when you hear that, it's like, you know, to come to this court and everybody's going to be there.
Right.
But that was like, when I hear that song, I think about like Elbow Away, and I think about all the things of like basketball. So it's like,
Yeah, I'm thinking about bicicleta. See, Dad.
let me ride.
Let's chill.
I wanna
I'll
ride,
get it.
Dad.
I'll get it, Dad.
I'm
Just
gonna
chill.
get it.
Let's just listen to this cool song.
Let's build a ramp.
Let's take it further,
Of
Dad.
course, that's this guy. Let's build a ramp.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a nice song, and the video is really, you know, just fits, you know, and it's cool that you got to do that collaboration. And I know on the last album there are a lot of features on the album, and so
Not just vocals too, but the people who played on the album. I really wanted to stretch myself vocally, like I'm really singing and leaning into my voice a lot on that, and I wanted to do the same thing instrumentally and really push it. So I've got some beautiful instrumentalists and guest vocal features on this album who really bring it. And it's all about moments like that. Like I'm a kid riding a bike. Like why why couldn't that be the best music ever? That's what I'm trying to do.
Right. Nice. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, that if you haven't watched the video, or you probably watched it if you're watching us on YouTube, but if you're listening to it on ESPN or the podcast, look it up on watch the videos on YouTube.
Yeah, you can find me Uncle Jumbo, just YouTube/Uncle Jumbo. And I've got stuff from when I first started, like my first show at the Children's Museum Houston, through multiple dance-along videos, live show stuff, and long-form stuff. You can just put it on and enjoy it for a while. But yeah, definitely watch the YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, let's take another break. Get back. We'll talk more with Uncle Jumbo. This is Vinyl Voices Radio. Stay tuned. You've seen their billboards and know their slogan, but the personal injury attorneys at Push and Win are more than familiar faces and a clever catchphrase. The firm specializes in car accidents and has won more than $200 million in counting for their clients. Slips and falls, product liability, class action cases, and motor vehicle accidents. Push and Win has offices in Houston and San Antonio ready to help you fight the insurance company. Call their bilingual staff at 833-PUSH-WIN or visit pushwin.com for a 100% free consultation. They push, you win.
May the 4th be with you weekend in Galveston, Texas. La Izquierda is back with a classic longboard surf competition 3-day music festival starring The Nude Party, Cam Franklin, Tanya Nolan, Ruben Moreno, Galveston, The Ghost Wolves, Dim Roots, and much, much more. Tickets available online at laizzyfest.com. Think waves, y'all. Waves.
Voices Radio. We are back. We're hanging out with Uncle Jumbo.
Hey.
This is the third segment of the show, so unfortunately it's going to be the end of this show for this one, but we still have a good 15 minutes to talk and listen to some music and all that. But what song are we going to listen to next?
So next we have One Big Family.
One Big Family. This was the first song that I listened to of yours, was this one. And you got some dance moves in this one.
Yeah, this video is really cool because I gathered a bunch of people who have been going to my shows for a long time. I just sent them a message, hey, I'm going to be going to this place to make this video, come on out, and gave them all shirts and taught them the dance moves for this video that day. And they hit it. They did it, and it came out beautiful, but I love that they are representative of what I'm talking about in this song, which is all of us, you know, Houston based, we're diverse city, we're what the world looks like, and that's what that video looks like. So yeah, they're getting down, they're dancing, and that was a special day to make that video, and the song is very special to me. I love that one. That's cool. That's a cool entry point to my music.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that was like the beginning of a new chapter for me, was One Big Family.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks like everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
It was just a good hang. Everybody just got together, taught them dance moves, but, you know, had activities. We were talking, chatting, goofing around. It was just a great time, and yeah, it shows up on that video.
It definitely does. All right, let's listen to it.
One big family, 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 one big family. Tick-a-da, tick-a-da, dee-dee-day, tick-a-da, tick-a-dee-dee-dee, tick-a-da, tick-a-da, dee-dee-day, da-dee-dee-day, tick-a-da, tick-a-dee-dee-dee, tick-a-da, tick-a-da, dee-dee-day. Some people, they were born with a dark skin tone.
brother, brother. We might be different, but we still love one another. Listening to each other. I lift you up, yeah. You are my sister, sister. You are my brother, brother. We might be different, but we still love one another. Listening to each other. I lift you up. Diggy da diggy da dee dee day. Diggy da diggy dee dee dee. Diggy da diggy da dee dee day. Hey 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 hey. Da dee dee day. Diggy da diggy dee dee dee. Diggy da diggy da dee dee day. Hey 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 hey. I'll stand by you every day. Share my umbrella with you when it rains. Doesn't matter where you're from. All that I got is a home on the love. I'll stand by you every day. Share my umbrella with you when it rains. Doesn't matter where you're from. All that I got is a whole lot of love. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, hey, hey. Because we're one big family. 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 Hey.
And remember, Uncle Jumbo.
Man, that song just finished. Like, that was good.
It was very good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
one big family.
I wish, all the thoughts I had in my head and probably that y'all had, I could just imagine what they were just in that moment that the song just ended. Like it was, but let us actually talk about the song because it is, well, two things. The message obviously is an Uncle Jumbo message, and that like we're in the world together. Let's connect. But also just sonically, that song, it's just. I think it's a good example of the irony of children's music. Maybe to me is that people might think it's confining, but in your hands, you're able to do a lot of different things. And so, speak to that a little bit, because
I'm very thankful that it's like that, and I found that out kind of later. I went up against it and made the music that I made because I really didn't have much reference for what kids' music is or could be. I'm somebody who naturally loves music, period. I love all different styles. And what is very special about children's music is that it's not a genre that's defined by the instruments that you're playing, the pace that you're playing, the rhythm. It's defined by the audience, which is the kids and the families. So it doesn't matter what style you're playing in as long as it's intended for who it's intended in. And I run that spectrum stylistically. Yeah. So, we started this with Roly-Poly.
Right.
And we go to Bicicleta and we go to this. But, I have so many different styles of songs that I've done and so many to come. And I take full advantage of being in a space where that's welcomed. It's very liberating to be in a place where how I am naturally is well received. I can make whatever kind of music. So yeah, I grew up on reggae. My dad was a DJ, a reggae and a disco DJ. These are some of the most common music I was around the most as a kid. So when I'm doing songs like One Big Family, it's like hearing about like the flow state of like, I'm not, or like hitting a baseball on the sweet spot of a bat. Like I'm not trying hard. This is just like breathing to me. This is like where I am naturally. And to be in a place like children's music where that's a welcome thing. Many people do think that kids' music is just a guy playing an acoustic guitar. Mm-hmm. And it is that a lot of times.
Right.
But it's so much more. It's such a rich, diverse musical experience. Personally, I think that it's the best. I think that, I mean, there's no better music than kids' music for that reason, though. And that it can touch in all of these different places and styles. And that's what life is. Life is not one way. So, like, why would an artist need to be one way like that? And I go in that direction. So, Taste the Sky. Well, one thing is, like, I'm not claiming to invent, like, what I do. Like, you listen to a Stevie Wonder album, and it's like left turn after left turn.
Right.
Like, when it comes to his sequencing and, like, which song leads into the next song, we might have a ballad, then we're gonna go to Boogie Reggae Woman, like, we're gonna be doing all this, and then we're gonna be doing to this, like, sweet soft song, then we're gonna, like, but that's how life is. Life moves at different tempos and timbres and temperatures, and I reflect life in my music. And yeah, the subject of One Big Family is just classic me, which is I love people so much. I've always been that way. I love people. I am fascinated by folks. I have a curiosity about people. It used to just blow my mind as a kid that there are other people walking around the street, and I'm living my life in my day-to-day, and I've got my own thoughts and plans and stuff, and somebody that passes by me on the street is living a whole other life.
Right.
And, like, what I do is the musical version of that, and I love it.
Yeah, it's really nice. And I don't know, I guess because we're talking about family, in the literal sense, you know, well, in a figurative too, because I think people that have followed you and seen what you do, like, I mean, I had a true sense of pride watching you on the red carpet at the Grammys, but also you had your actual family there.
Yeah.
Anne-Marie was there, and Ani was there, and so, you know, that moment, just talk a little bit about that, the fact that you guys, you know, your work put you in that place, but a lot of it really comes back to your actual family unit.
Yeah. I say this all the time, that my music is the way it is because my family is the way it is, because my life is with my family is the way it is. And my music is just that. It wouldn't be that without my family. And having them at the ceremony on the red carpet, it was everything to me. Somebody asked me a few days before the Grammys what I was looking forward to, and I said, you know, I'm excited to be around people like me who make music, and there's this thing that we all have, this passion for music that we all have. There's nothing like being together. And then I just said, like, and the red carpet's gonna be cool. And they were like, so you're looking forward to the red carpet? And it sounded so, like, I don't know, like shallow at the time, but I didn't realize how special that would be until we did it.
It was so cool.
It was very cool, and it was just everything to me.
Yeah,
It was everything. And look, we were gonna be the best dressed. I already knew this.
Y'all were. Y'all were.
You know, we had to go with Taste the Sky, #1, the album name, but also Prince is just such a huge influence on me.
Sure.
And it's beautiful that in the piece that you wrote interviewing me when I first started, you just picked up, we didn't talk about Prince and my influence, but you just picked that up from listening to it.
Yeah.
And just made that beautiful comparison. But so we wore the raspberry beret cloud suits, but I made it into a jumpsuit.
Yeah.
And so this is my second time at the Grammys. The first time was for the group that I was a part of, still am a part of, One Tribe Collective.
Okay.
And I wrote the song One Tribe, and we made this big collective, beautiful album. First time it's anything like that has ever happened. And that group got nominated. And when we went, it was awesome. I had one of my favorite colored jumpsuits on. It's burgundy, which is one of my favorite colors. My wife, Anne-Marie, had on like a sunset orange, and our daughter, Ani, her dress was a combination of both of our fabrics.
Okay.
It was really cool. But we asked Ani what she wanted to do this time around, and she said she wanted to wear a jumpsuit like Papa. So we got her a little jumpsuit, and just as we were stitching them together, Christina Wells is the person who put them together. She's a singer and a designer in town.
Right.
She's She's like Deion Sanders, like one of these like two-sport athletes who are just like design and music and are just an incredible person.
Appreciate you coming and hanging out, man. It's been
Yeah,
a whole
it's
lot
a lot
of
of fun.
it's been a whole lot of fun and very nice talking to you. Very inspirational.
Thank
Yeah.
you for the invitation. I love being here with people who, number one, really care about music so much, but just care about spreading it and care about people the way that y'all do. Y'all, these are some stand-up, beautiful people right here. I love y'all, and I love being here, so thank you.
We love you, Uncle Jumbo. Uncle Jumbo said,
Yeah.
we're doing it right.
We're doing it right. And I don't know. I mean, it's like Uncle Jumbo loves you. It's like I love you too, Uncle Jumbo. But yeah, no, I appreciate it. Look him up, find him, listen to his music. I mean, yes, it's music for kids, but it's music for everybody.
That's right.
That's
That's
right,
what
it
it is. It's just, you know, you're not gonna find lyrics that your kids can't listen to.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. And we have a good example of how much it is for everybody in the next segment 4. So if y'all are watching in YouTube land, come back for that because we'll talk a little bit about that.
Yep. But this show, we have to wrap it up. So once again, thanks, Uncle Jumbo.
Thank you.
And on behalf of all of us here, thanks for tuning in to this week's show. And everybody be safe. Go watch a live show somewhere. There's so many of them happening. And enjoy some new music.